Hi, everyone. This is Megan Wise, and I am coming to you live with our very first portfolio podcast episode. We are here to talk about what portfolio culture is and how to grow your empire through real estate. So, our first guest, I'm super excited, is Kyle Engel. He is Westfield's new construction specialist all over the north side. He knows everything new construction. He works new home buyers all the way to luxury, and his story is phenomenal. So, I'm super excited. Thank you, Kyle, for being here.
Yeah, episode number one. Are you
Number
kidding me?
one.
Let's go.
You're the
And we're
champ.
in the beautiful one of the many locations we've got at the Keller Williams portfolio,
I know.
locations.
It's so pretty here.
It
So
is.
thank you for coming. And I just want to share your story a little bit about being an entrepreneur. This is your second career is real estate.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about a little history of what you did before real estate.
Yeah, so it transitioned from, high school straight into the military, a couple tours overseas, got out, and I was really seeking like direction and purpose, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I was going from job to job, kind of bouncing around there, and I met a lot of bosses, but I couldn't find a leader, which is what I was looking for in my head coming out of the military, someone to lead me, and that's when I just jumped into the entrepreneur world. It's been over 10 years now, over a decade in that realm, and my wife and I have grown a huge national brand of like online nutrition coaching, and you're still crushing that today, several $1 million a year in sales consistently. That was the before real estate. I'm a brand new baby inside of real estate,
Baby.
but I don't feel it in the realm of
Business and life.
Right, exactly. In life, for sure, right? Four kids, all of that stuff to vote with it. So been crushing it. Just got my license in January, actually.
Okay, say that again. January 2024, you just got
Again, we're in
licensed.
May right now, by the way.
Okay,
Right?
we're in May. So January 24, you get licensed, and what happens?
Yeah, so I was entrepreneur mindset again, I like to go fast. And I joined a brokerage, just kind of like interviewed a couple local brokerages, hopped on with one that seemed good. And for me, like at the time, to be totally honest, like it was just like the lowest amount of my commissions had to be paid out, right? It had the lowest cap. And so for me, I was like, well, I wanted to keep,
fees.
the lowest everything. So it's like entrepreneur 10 years. I'm like, that's what I want. And maybe that came with a bigger cost that I realized at the time, but I certainly grew into understanding that I just didn't have the support and system that I needed. And my goal was $20 million year one in real estate sales.
Amazing.
And I was like, how am I going to get to $20 million at the speed that I was going fast?
Yeah.
I just felt like if I had a question, it would be like a day or, several hours. And it's like, in real estate, this is like not a game you can go slow in.
No, it's not.
Because things are always moving and happening, and offers and contingencies.
Yes.
So left that brokerage when I got kind of a DM, right, from one of our colleagues in Alstera.
We slid into your DMs, didn't we, Kyle?
DM in was like, hey, like I would love to, grab coffee with me and Megan. And I'd heard your guys' names before.
Sure.
And I was like, it's like at the time I was seeking out more opportunity. I just didn't know what that was going to be. It's like, do I go to a new brokerage, or are they all the same? Because I didn't know. It's like, maybe this is just how it goes, and I just need to figure out a system for myself. So we met for coffee, and like your guys' energy was so contagious, and your vision, and you guys straight up pointed out like the flaws, almost, if you will, inside of the system that I had of like.
We had been there, Sarah and I, Sarah Denning, my business partner, we had been there with big box brokerages or small brokerages or boutique brokerages. We've seen it all. And I've been doing this now for 15 years.
Yeah.
And so it's so cool that you came in. We saw your needs.
Yeah.
And we're not afraid to tell you what you're lacking.
Right. And I was like, that's what I needed, 100%. And it's like, again, it's like you've been in the business for 15 years, which is like 2009 time frame though, which is like the maybe first or second worst time in history to get into real estate outside of 2023, 2024. And so it's cool, like for me to be able to step into a situation where it's like, again, I was looking for a leader when I transitioned out of the military, and someone that came into real estate in one of the worst times to enter real estate. And now you're opening and scaling this brokerage at an insane pace in maybe one of the worst times, second worst time to enter the real estate market. And it's like, that isn't impacting KWP. And that's what attracted me the most, was the energy, the culture, the like, no one was really on a team, but yet everyone worked like we were on a team. It's like, I felt that and saw that right away. And was just like, how do I sign up? I care about the cap. I didn't
story, and I will always tell everyone, because I remember flying down the highway doing carpool for baseball or something, and you texted Sarah and I and said, hey, can we get together? And we were about to go to a family reunion, our conference in Vegas. And Sarah said, well, how about in about 2 weeks is our first availability? And the way you responded was, well, I have availability this week. And I was like, I got to pull over. This is the guy. Like, I want coffee with this guy immediately. And I think we met like the next day.
Literally, yeah.
And then within that appointment, it took about 2 or 3, we just kept talking and talking. And I just loved like your energy and your willingness to see our vision so quickly. And I think as a former you're a business owner and a former entrepreneur in another world, it was easy for you to see that we are quick starts, we're growth mindset kind of brokers. And it's really cool you say that we're a team, because we always talk about like KWP, Keller Williams Portfolio, as being a collective. And it is, whether we are made up of teams within that collective, but there's an amazing culture where we can ask anybody within the team and everybody is available to help and willing to give help and willing to take help and be open-minded about pivoting and doing something different and learning in all the meetings that we do, right? So you kicked off in 2024, January. It is now May. Tell us, how many pendings do you have right now?
So we've closed about $1.8 million so far, and we've got another 6 in pending, or 5 or 6 in pending.
Amazing. So mostly about 8 million.
Yeah.
And it's May. So your goal this year is what?
20 for sure.
Okay,
it's got to be 20.
If you don't know, selling 8 million is something that most people do. Most realtors, if they're considered pretty respectable, know what they're doing, is about an $8 to $10 million a year. So for you, brand new, you're going to crush 8 to 10. You're hoping to reach your goal at 20.
Absolutely.
And it's so cool. How do you think that you got there so quickly?
So it's like there's 2 parts to it. Is I don't mind the work, right? I don't get around. I don't try to skip the work. I don't try to find the easiest way to do it. Like, of course, if there's an easy way, we want to do it. But it's like I don't have an off switch of like I like helping people. Like I literally love the opportunity to help somebody else out find an awesome home. So it's like you take that component and then you pair it with, I would say, just the support again, like, cause like that's what I was lacking. It's like I was taking days to get a purchase agreement input sometimes, and it's like this is not the market for days on a purchase agreement. So the speed at which, like, I texted you just the other day, it was like I put it in our group chat. It was like the speed at which the leader goes is the speed of the team. And it's like I truly felt that. So it's like it's paired with like, dude, like I work my freaking tail off. Right. There's no avoiding that, no question about it. But then also it's like there's support system behind it that if it's not there, then my work it's falling on deaf ears because I'm not able to move at a quick enough pace.
Yeah, and I love that you talk about that, because real estate is fast-paced, and there is a sense of urgency for every client, no matter what. Even if the inspection response isn't due in for 2 weeks, there's an urgency. And so you kind of have to feel that inside of you and incorporate that with every client communication and be their support system. You have to make them feel like you're not they're their only client to you, right? It's choosing you or me as their realtor, or anyone within our brokerage, it's a big trust factor of like, this is the biggest financial decision someone's going to make. And I want to make it with someone who's confident, who has a strong team behind them, and who's willing to like put me first no matter what. So I feel like your success has specifically come from very consistent videos on social media. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So it's like, I step into real estate. I'm like, okay, I have my license. How the heck do I sell a freaking house? Like how? And it's funny because I talk to a lot of my new construction sales agents in the different neighborhoods now, and I walk in there and we're friends.
Yeah, they know
I see them so much. I work with them. I've sold some of their houses for them, like their personal own residence, right? It's like all of the hundreds of realtors they work with. Like I was fortunate enough to get selected because they could see my customer care, they could see my grind, they could see my work ethic, and we're selling houses in 2 to 3 days. So it's like, why wouldn't you want to work with me? Right. So naturally, because of the speed of the team, speed of leaders, right? Because it's like during these transactions, sometimes you're in vacation with your family, but it's like I can pop in the group chat at any time, and Andy's on the phone with me walking me through how to do a response to something or how an amendment, right? So it's definitely grateful for that.
I love that. And you're making a consistent schedule to video.
So go back to that. It's like, for me, it's like I didn't have a listing to go video, and like I leverage all of my business. 100% comes from social media. So it's like, where are their houses? How can I get in? And what are people's problems? What do they want to see when it comes to real estate? It's like, well, they probably want to see homes that they would like one day for like a vision, or they're looking for homes right now. So for me, I just got connections with all of our local builder reps and asked them to go tour their homes.
And how'd you connect? Just a quick, simple stop by, text or call.
I so awkwardly walked in and was like, hey, I'm with this agency and and I just wanted to do some like videos. And they're like, sure, but I was so nervous when I first started. I didn't know what to do. They're like, yeah, do you have a business card? I'm like, no. And so exactly. And now we're at the point to where actually other homeowners are reaching out to me to come video their homes for them. So we're trying to navigate like how to do that, because I'm not the listing agent on some of those homes.
And I love that you brought that up, because I have always commissioned my team to get the more social media you can get on your house, the more looks, the more buyer views, and other people have different spheres. So you posting and me posting the same house, it's going to get blasted out to 2 different spheres most likely. And that's the beauty of our collective and our brokerage, is that you have over 30 people commenting and sharing true videos of houses that if sellers come and contract us to sell their home, they not only get my 5,000 views, they get your 7,000 views and what have you, and on. And it's a domino effect of, wow, I keep seeing this house.
Yeah.
And if all of our spheres are somehow connected, these buyers are seeing it here, here, here. And it's just this constant view of the seller's home. And I think that's the beauty of our entire collective. Besides the support, I appreciate you saying that. And I love that, like, we started a group text, your very first listing, and we were hand holding you through that. And now you're selling listings, not even talking to us. You don't even know what's going on. You're so busy.
I know. I love it. And like, also, like, let's switch the roles just for a second of like, where did this, because this is episode 1. It's like, let the people know. Where the heck did this come from? Like, because it's insane. Like the year, the timing, the economy, like it's not like things are just gangbusters and we're in 2020 where everything's going like crazy. No. It's like it's like we said, it's like not an amazing time to open a brokerage. So what inspired you at this time?
Well, you're right, Kyle. We should probably talk a little bit about the basis of Portfolio. This is my brainchild and my passion project, and I can't believe we're here. Thanks for being my first guest. Thanks for being our first baby. And we're calling you a teenager.
Right,
You're
elevated.
Be a real grown adult in this industry in about 3 months.
Right, no kidding.
So it's just really cool because people like you, I knew that quick starts and growth mindset leaders are out there, and they just kind of needed a little bit of hand holding, a little bit of culture. And honestly, it's really selfish. I had been in brokerages where there was culture, and I hadn't seen it in a really long time. I've been at great companies, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Century 21, Prudential, and all those companies were great for me at the time. But looking forward, I believe real estate has changed drastically since COVID, and the culture of my last brokerage basically died after COVID. And it was really sad. And real estate can be a really lonely career if you don't have a couple friends cheering you on here and there. And with us, it's a collective, right? It's all of us cheering everybody on.
I look forward to every Monday meeting.
I know,
and so does everybody else, which is like crazy. It's crazy. I've never been A, excited for Monday meetings, or B, seen a group of people excited for Monday meetings.
I never wanted to have a Monday meeting, and now I'm leading Monday meetings. And it's really cool because it feels like it's a home base for all of us. Kick off our week, talk about, like on Monday, we talked about, besides our flips and investments that everyone's doing and teaching on that, we also talked about multiple offers. Remember, Zach talked about multiple offers, and one of the ways that you can get your bid to win is to talk about, hey, if I don't have to use my appraisal gap, I'll give the seller a bonus. 15 years, never heard that one. I love that. So like, it's just so cool that those kind of knowledge bombs and nuggets come out of every meeting. And so the meetings are basically like the lifeblood of why I created this, is that we can all be mega agents. We can all be top producers, team leaders. We can be, go-getters, but we don't need to be on an island. And I've been on an island by myself with my team before. I've been an independent, lonely, with no culture before. And the time that I was the most successful is when I had other top producers around me pushing me. And I saw that on a national level. I was on a 40 under 40 kind of panel for Berkshire Hathaway Home Services nationally. And I got to mastermind with the best of all the states. And I learned that there were people out there who were willing to share their ideas, willing to share their next steps. Like all the processes and workflow that I've recreated over the 15 years, and you don't need to go recreate. I'm going to tell you them. That's part of, being the leader, is don't recreate the wheel. But basically, Portfolio was a passion project for me, and that I started growing my investment portfolio personally, and I went from about 9 homes to about 30 homes. And those portfolio doors pay for my lifestyle. I'm very thankful. I'm a former teacher. I'm a former single mom. I've lived the gamut of blue collar to white collar and everything in between. And I think that I am empowered to teach every realtor how to find success in this world, how to have a good mindset through it all, work-life balance, along with investing in themselves so they can turn around and invest in their clients, whether that's emotionally, mentally, or with actual physical investments, because those investments changed my life. And I want them to change others. And there is a great opportunity in Indianapolis, number 4 ranked in the nation, best place to invest, right? We're super affordable. We have low crime. We have great public schools, low tax rate, and on and on. So Portfolio is really a brokerage of the future, thinking professional brokerages, full-time brokers. And we allow part-time. We're happy to bring in the part-timer that's ready to go full-time soon and give them that push they need. But I think our pace and our speed does not work for part-time realtors.
Sure.
We believe that this is a career and you need to be full-blown into it. And we will I used to be a part-time realtor for the first couple of years. I was actually a school teacher and a guidance counselor at Carmel High School.
Yeah.
So in that, I also helped clients and I helped teenagers. They're not that far apart, actually, and you dealing with the stress of adults selling houses and the stress of being a teenager in high school. They're not that too far apart. But anyhow, it was just a really cool way for me to change my look on. I'm born and raised in real estate. This is my lifeblood. But for me, it was like able to share everything I've learned and give it to the people who are willing to listen.
Yeah.
And making this, I wanted to go to an office every day where people were pushing me, like you're teaching me a little Instagram tricks that I didn't know. Like there's those kind of things. I wanted to be surrounded with, selfishly, I wanted to be surrounded with people who were willing to push me and help me like I'm willing to push them and help them.
I think that's even like a good point right there, what you said of like, who is the ideal age? If somebody's listening to this right now and they're like, I like what she's saying, you said something, and I can't remember, I'll paraphrase it, but it's just like, we go at a pace and you like to work with people who are willing to listen and then execute.
Yes.
So it's like, this probably isn't the place for the person that's always creating excuses and blaming and reasons why. It's like, you know, my last brokerage that I was at, it was a contributing factor, but it was never my blame game of like, well, I'm just gonna, I guess this is all I'm gonna do, like playing victim. So it's like, what's the ideal agent that would fit into this culture that we're creating? Because it's not like you just open the doors and you'll let everybody in. Like you sit down and you meet one-on-one with everybody to make sure that they're a good fit. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, what I feel is anybody who's willing to learn. And, you know, I believe that the top producer in our state probably isn't even in real estate yet. They're going to be. Maybe it's probably you, actually. So no pressure there, buddy.
Right.
But I just feel like anyone who's willing to listen. So it's exhausting to give ideas, and then the people have excuses on that they can't do it. And that's okay. Their excuses are their own, and and I honor that. But I feel like for us as a collective, the realtors that we'd like to bring in is people who are willing to learn about investments, teaching themselves how to invest, because we don't have a 401k, we don't have a pension. So as realtors, how do you step out of the business? After 15 years, I saw realtors who are 65 years old, still selling, still chasing buyers. And that hustle might not be good for a 65-year-old. It might not be good for their body, their mindset. They want to go hang out with their grandkids. Right? But no one teaches the realtor how to step out.
Huge.
So how to step out in this business is to A, grow your database and be consistent with your database during the business. But then how do I step out if I just sell for 20 years? You step out by building a portfolio. You already have the knowledge of real estate. You know how to run comparables. You know how to talk to contractors. You know how to get deals with contractors. So why would you not buy a house and flip it? Why would you not buy a house and hold it for a long-term hold? Because that is a passive income money that you can have on the side on top of selling real estate. So when the time comes, you're tired, you're ready to travel, you're ready to go be with grandkids, you have already set up a business plan that allows you to step out of real estate and let the next generation step in. So our goal is realtors who are willing to talk about investing in themselves and realtors who want to have growth mindset and willing to share. Anybody that, you know, has sold a couple and they're like, I just need to get over that hump. I don't know what to do. I felt that way, actually. A year and a half in, I remember laying on my bed going, oh my gosh, I just got an inspection response. I didn't know what to do with it. Like, what's a high dish droop lane? Like, I don't know what any of this stuff is. And I remember being like, I don't think I'm prepared to do this. But then I just started asking questions. And then whoever answered them, that's who I went to. So in this business can be really lonely. So the brokerages, the idea is that it's not lonely. You can plug and play into our culture, and we will push you to get to your goals. Your goal could be 5 million.
Sure, totally.
I don't care. It could be 20 million like you know, and it's cool because every person that has joined us has increased their production. And that's truly just a sign of what a collective can do when you are all working together professionally, having an attitude of abundance. I know I've seen it here and there, but to put it all together with the right people is really, really special. So I'm so glad you saw us and you believed in us when you first met us.
Yeah, and still do, right?
Not
just when I first met. And that's what's been cool. I mean, on the investment component, it's like I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years, so it's like I think we should put some money into this house. And then it's like, oh, like we just lost 15 grand. Like, because I didn't have any, I just like
Didn't
was
know
just
what to
like
do.
Googling and guessing. And,
Yes.
so it's been cool. We've done several flips inside of the portfolio itself, and we've gotten field trips and got to go out and see them and got a run through of like, this is how you find a contractor. This is how you work with the
Yes.
contractor. This is the contractor we use. Like,
Yes.
here's his information. Like, so it's
It's
like all of that stuff is so
handheld.
like, exactly handheld. That's been really beneficial
And
as well.
I've done flips with Josh Wetzel, my fiance.
Yeah.
I've done flips with him on the side for years, and I have inspired my teammates to do that. I've inspired friends, but really doing that over the last couple of years has given me a lot of experience. And then I wanted to provide that to the brokerage. So I feel like it's hard to do it unless you're like in it and you need to see it. A lot of people need to see, touch, and feel, right? So having the field trips to our college flip, 5677 North College.
Yep.
We're so proud of that baby, and I call my flips my babies.
Yeah.
It's so proud of it, but it's, there's things that we talk about. In the sewer scope inspection was bad.
Right.
We talk about a JV agreement. What is that? Who creates it? What is a JV agreement? That's an agreement stating the contractor and you and your investor partners are going to, who's going to pay what, who's going to have the deadline, how is this going to execute throughout the time. Like, it's a true business decision to do it, and we're helping you to do it right.
Yeah.
And to empower you now to go do it. And now we have Sarah Denning did one.
Yeah.
We have 2 others behind her that are interested, and we also have a lot of clients who are asking too. So what I think Portfolio does is bring like the pie in the sky of investments and flips and stuff you see on TikTok and Instagram. Like, how do you execute on the baseline level? Yeah. And that's what our brokerage wants to do.
Yeah.
So what's for you? What's your 5-year vision?
Oh my gosh. I'm like, well, apparently it's to be #1 in the state. You didn't give me a timeline on what that looks like.
Okay.
So I'm not going to go there. But no, I think it's just to continue to be a master of the craft, right? Like you said, at the end of the day, like we joke about it of the baby, but it's like, it's true. Like there's so many, like, Megan, what's an addendum? How do, is radon? Is it really bad? Right? It's just like,
bad's radon?
Right. All of these little things that I still have so much to learn. So it's like continue to be a student while hopefully inspiring other agents, to be totally honest with you, to elevate the profession of the standard of the profession to a higher level, to where people are just very prideful and confident in what they do, because at the end of the day, like, we all represent each other. So it's important that we all represent each other really well. And I think like whether it's me or the collective as a whole of KWP here, it's like, I think we get to do that. So I'm excited to be a part of that. I'm excited to hit huge financial goals. I'm excited to give a shit ton of money away, if I can be totally honest. Like, I love giving and helping out others, and especially keeping it local here inside of the community. Hopefully inspiring other realtors to elevate themselves in their game. Come join us, or just stay where you're at and be a leader over there.
Yeah,
right?
You could come to we have guests all the time in our
Totally,
Monday training.
every week.
We have people come all the time, and we're happy to come. You don't ever have to join our brokerage to come, because I truly feel like education is power, knowledge is power. And if you know how to do your transaction really well, then that's a win for me. Even if you're not part of our brokerage, I want to have someone on the other side who knows what they're doing.
Right.
Like, it's plain and simple.
Totally.
That's why Portfolio is a little selfish of me. Like, I want to educate and train at a high level. For me, I was personally tired of going to meetings where we talked about inspection issues and appraisal responses. That was just something that was extremely like mind-numbing to me. And I feel like that's just part of what brokerages do, because it's the typical problems that a typical broker has. But for us, I want to talk about opportunities and future wealth building. That's like our collective goal. Yeah. I see you probably leveraging sooner than later. Yeah. But talk to me a little bit about the leverage that you've seen. And as a first-time realtor, I'm really proud of you for leveraging a transaction coordinator. Yeah, a lot of people don't want to do it. Are you kidding me? I'm a control freak. No way. Well, you can never grow if you're a control freak, because processing paperwork is not the best use of your time. Totally. If you know the type of personality you are and you know your goals, that 3-4 hours on a file times 5 or 10 can really add up and bog you down, right? So tell us a little about that.
Yeah, it's just like, to me, it's a no-brainer. I couldn't even like, as soon as you guys were like, hey, here's the transaction coordinator we use, I'm like, okay, cool. And like, even when I was working with her, I was still doing so much. And then I was like, hey, like, by the way, am I supposed to do this? Or you? She's like, dude, I got all of that paper. Like, I'll do all of it. I'll send the emails. I'll do all, pen to close, exactly. Or like listing contract to close as well, right? So it's like, I was like, this is unbelievable. And it's like, are you sure it's only $300 or $250? Like, are you you sure?
Do it.
And they're like, yeah, it's just I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and it professionalizes you, and it
right.
frees your mind up to do the high-level
Yes.
negotiations, inspection stuff,
Yes.
and then also be home with your family on nights
That's
and
the biggest thing
weekends.
too. It's like I'm not in this game to just chase transactions forever
No.
and totally lose everything on my home life.
Yes.
So it's been an incredible balance of that, because usually the paperwork stuff in real estate, it's like it's happening when 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
It's not in the middle of the day when we're
Yeah.
running and gunning.
Right.
So it's like that buys my time back. And so for $300 in a
So worth it.
transaction, oh my gosh, all day.
So I'm just proud that you took that TC position seriously, because a
Yeah.
lot of people don't want to take it because they think my client wants me. Your client does not care
Right.
who orders the home warranty or who
Right.
orders the title. They just want to know it's done
Yep.
on time and done well,
Yep.
right? With our preferred contractors.
Yeah, and it does professionalize you, because it's like the first email they send out is like, "Hi, I'm so and so working with Mr. Engel on this transaction." Like it just sounds like
Yes.
this is just how it goes.
It's an
And-
in-house assistant for $300.
Yeah,
It's
and guess who I'm still talking to every day via text and phone call? I'm still talking to the client. Like
Oh,
it's not
well,
like I'm
yeah,
just
you're still
ignoring
communicating.
everything.
Yeah,
and it's,
that's a great
and the
point.
TC is doing it all. It's like absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's like we got inspection reports back. Ring ring. Like,
Yep.
hey Anna, here's what's going on. I just saw. Looks like we had some water in this corner. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here's my game plan,
Yes.
and here's how we're
love
gonna
that.
remedy this.
Yes.
Does that make sense to you? Does that
Yes.
sound good? She's like, yep, cool, great. And then we go back to work on
And
it.
you are able to do the speed that you're able to do because you have a TC, which we
Yeah.
have an in-house TC
Yeah.
that's available. Herself,
Yeah.
she works for probably about 6 or 7 of us
Yeah.
consistently. So my newbies, I'd like newbies to go through the transaction once or twice,
Totally.
like you did.
Yep.
And then leverage that paperwork out, because
Yeah.
I think that's one way to grow. And no one told me that,
Yeah.
Kyle. No one told me about a TC. I
Yeah.
wish I had known about
Yeah.
it. So I think I learned a lot about what not to do and
Yeah.
how to do it better, faster, stronger, with more client focus. And that's why I'm here and
Yeah.
training people like you.
Exactly.
So I appreciate you sharing,
Yeah.
and I want you to continue to share
Yeah.
and coach our agents. And I'll keep pouring into you, and you keep teaching us
Yeah.
all that new construction.
Yeah.
So follow Kyle at it's Kyle Engel.
Easy enough. Yep.
You can't forget it. It's Kyle Engel. He has amazing videos. What he does is just connect with the camera, connect with the viewers, and just do it. Done is better than perfect.
Yeah.
You might not feel good about your voice. Nobody likes their voice. Nobody likes the way they look. Just do it.
Yeah.
Because nobody needs to see a post just listed, just sold.
Yeah.
They want to see what the house could potentially do for them and their family.
Yeah.
Because it's not about us. It's about getting families moved and happier in different homes, right?
100%.
Well, thank you, Kyle, for
Yeah.
coming. I so
My
appreciate
pleasure.
you being our first guest.
Yes.
Don't you feel so special?
I do.
Sarah's gonna
Or the
be
test dummy. I don't know which one I am.
Sarah's gonna be a little jealous, I think.
She's gonna have it. We're not gonna. It's gonna be a perfect surround for her. She's
Oh,
gonna.
she's
She's
gonna
gonna
have-
glam it up.
Yes, she's gonna totally
make it
glam it
good.
up. So Sarah Denning is our next guest. She's our business partner. She went from 6 million to 13 million in the
Yeah.
year 2023.
Crazy.
So crazy. In 9 months after meeting Sarah and starting coaching with Sarah, she's now about to form a team, and we're going to talk
Yeah.
about that on our next episode.
Love it.
So
Can't wait.
thank you so much, Kyle.
bet.
All right, talk soon.
See ya.
Go door knock.